The new Megas in Pokemon Legends ZA have certainly got a lot of people talking, so in this video I'm going to be explaining a bunch of them in order to show why their designs are the way they are, and show off some stuff that is easily missed and that you may not have known about. To start, Mega Starmie might seem ridiculous, but it's actually completely in line with the designs and origins of its evolutionary line. For example, Star U's Japanese name is Hitodemon, which literally derives from Hitode, meaning starfish, and man. Additionally, many Mega Evolutions, particularly the ones in Legends ZA, pull directly from their pre-evolutions as a way to represent the theme of genetics in Mega Evolution. So Starmie becoming more man-like in that context actually makes perfect sense. On top of that, with Starmie being from space, this would make its Mega a space man, as in an astronaut. And if you look at it side by side with an astronaut in a spacesuit, there is a striking similarity, not only because of the more humanoid appearance, but also with the back half of its body now resembling the large packs on the back of the spacesuits, and the red gem on its face resembling the visors and helmets of the spacesuits too. In Malamar's case, there are tons of layers to its Mega that all work very well together. For starters, its tentacle hair coils together in the shape of a brain because of its mind control capabilities. My favorite part about this feature, though, is the one small tentacle that pokes out of this pattern like a loose piece of hair. This is a reference to Emma, whose ace is Mega Malamar, who also has a similar feature in her hair as well. As a bonus fact, Emma also has a hair clip in her hair that references the rings under Esper's ear, which is her other signature Pokemon, meaning she references both of her signature Pokemon in her design, which is really cool. Back to Malamar though, it also has a large, over-exaggerated collar like that of a supervillain, which again harkens back to the whole mind control theme. The shape of its body and tentacles also create the shape of an M, as in Malamar, and its body and tentacles also at the same time resemble the human central nervous system, which also calls back to the mind control theme. Pyroar might just look like it has more hair, but there's actually more to it than that also completely falls in line with its original design. Original male Pyroar's mane has a pattern that resembles the Japanese kanji for the word fire, which is obviously very apt. Building off of that, Mega Pyroar's expanded mane is expanded the way it is for a reason, because it resembles the kanji for flame, which can also be translated as blaze, which is obviously an upgraded descriptor of fire, which is perfectly fit to describe this Mega Evolution. And as the cherry on top, since this Mega Evolution is the same for both versions of Pyroar, it also combines the manes of both the male and the female as well. While I don't have all of the answers on Mega Zygarde at this time, I do have one very cool and important part about it to show that I actually covered more in depth in this video. We see in-game that Mega Zygarde, upon Mega Evolving, while knowing the move Core Enforcer, will learn a new move called Nile Light. The name of this move is important because it actually helps to allude to some of the lore that Zygarde was given in this game, which is implied to be that it fled to the Alola region after X and Y in order to regain its power, which is why we see it there in Sun and Moon, and while there, it actually absorbed some of Necrozma's power, which gave it the ability to use this move. This is why the move is named after Light, which is Necrozma's primary theme, and to illustrate the connection even further, the Japanese name of Nile Light uses kanji, which is a trait that is also shared by some of the signature Z moves, which also originate from Necrozma. There is also way more to this connection between Zygarde and Necrozma as well, and it's really cool, so I recommend checking out that other video to get the full picture. For Mega Scolipede, its design does two major things. It gains armor, which resembles the armor seen on its pre-evolution Whirlipede, and it inexplicably becomes even more horse-like. despite being a bug, which is something that we do see a little bit in its base form, but it's way more overt in the Mega. The Whirlipede armor comes from the genetic theme of Mega Evolution that I mentioned earlier, and combined with the equine appearance, causes Scolipede to resemble a warhorse clad in armor. Regarding the horse-like appearance, this also applies to the base form as well, but once again is even more prominent here, and is actually based on a pun, as the Japanese word for millipede also just so happens to contain the kanji for horse. So it's actually a play on words on the part of Game Freak that they decided to emphasize even more with the Mega Evolution. I'd also like to emphasize my merch store really quick, since every order directly supports videos just like this one. There are plushies on there, like this adorable Narwade plush, this Fulcachi plush, and not only are they super soft, squishy, and very high quality, but the Fulcachi plush also comes with a limited edition promo card too. And speaking of cards, you can also get trading cards on the merch store as well, which features some of the Fakemon from my videos. It's all just really cool stuff, so be sure to check it out with the link in the description. And like I said, every order directly supports the content and helps it to keep happening, so it's super duper appreciated as well. So yeah, check it out, and now, back to the video. Mega Dragonite has a Hermes inspiration, which is what plays a key factor into its added wings, particularly on its ankles. This inspiration is likely inspired by the fact that Hermes is the messenger of the gods in Greek mythology, and Dragonite has often been portrayed as a messenger itself in various Pokemon media, as we've seen it act as a mailman on multiple occasions. So to reference this facet of Dragonite's character in its Mega Evolution, in my opinion, is actually pretty cool. Mega Meganium's flowers are likely meant to resemble a ruff, an item of clothing that is synonymous with the image of classical European fashion, with fashion also being a key component of the Kalos region, making for an even better fit. Additionally, ruffs were also seen as a status symbol worn by the elite and the wealthy, which fits perfectly with the elite status of a Mega Evolution. And honestly, on a personal note, this tidbit of information makes this design so much better in my opinion, because it shows how well it actually works, not only with Meganium's design, but also within the game and the region that it is appearing in. In Emboar's case, I don't exactly have an entire breakdown of its whole design like these other Megas, but I did want to point out that it seems like the fiery staff that it gains upon Mega Evolving could actually be meant to resemble bacon, based on its shape and its coloration. And this would obviously be in line with the fact that Emboar is a pig, and if this is all any kind of intentional, that is pretty hilarious. Mega Feraligatr is most likely based on Common Rider Revis Rex, which has an identical concept of having a giant reptilian head come over their own head while their arms come together to form the bigger head's lower jaw. While I am not a Common Rider buff at all, this Common Rider apparently comes from the fusion of Common Rider Revi and Common Rider Vice Rex genome. And I thought the word genome here was particularly interesting, considering that Mega Evolution is all about genes and DNA, which could be another point of inspiration and actually makes for a pretty good fit. It also makes a lot of sense why this design is kind of going over a lot of people's heads outside of Japan, and therefore I would imagine that in Japan, this Mega might actually be pretty popular because of this. Meanwhile, Mega Victreebel is possibly based on a wine skin, and wine as a whole. The shape of Mega Victreebel heavily resembles a wineskin, and the acid that Mega Victreebel expels out of its mouth easily correlates in appearance to multiple types of wine, such as red or rosé. It being acid and Victreebel being a poison type also parallels the toxic nature of alcohol, and it puking its acid all over the place after opening its mouth could parallel the puking that alcohol can produce when you drink too much of it. Wine also has its roots in Europe, with particular history coming from the Mediterranean, which France is a part of, and for good measure, base Victreebel is based on a pitcher plant, with the word pitcher coming from a drink pitcher, which would make a wine theme for its mega all the more likely. The origins of these megas honestly make the designs way better in my opinion, because it gives you context for the designs and shows how the megas are actually pretty inspired overall. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or if you have anything else to add. Be sure to subscribe for more as well, and with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another video soon, and until then, as always, I will smell you guys later.